This gym has been shut down. On the second day of 2024, the gym we have been working out at for over a year has been shut down. Now it's completely empty, with members trying to salvage what they can. Even the flooring has been taken out. Now that it's shut down, you can see people are all moving stuff and preparing to run away. This gym not only took the gym members' money, but also owes money to its staff. The trend of closing the store and running away is ongoing in China, this time hitting the fitness industry. Behind me is the deserted Huitong Fitness Center. All the equipment has been moved out. The management here claims they'll open a new center with a different brand name on the 4th floor nearby and transfer all of us there by May. But I believe it's a lie. Huitong Fitness has other branches in the city. If this one closes, they could easily redirect us. But now, they're not allowing us to use other branches, and all the equipment here has been taken away. It's obvious they're running away. Normally, if you haven't paid rent or property fees, the property management has the right to seal off your equipment for liquidation the day later. But they are clearly trying to run away tonight. I'm truly disappointed. This gym has been quite convenient for me, and now it's gone. I renewed my membership at the end of last year, and I've been scammed. Imagine the losses for those members who paid more. A customer in my shop told me that the gym next door has closed down, so I came over to take a look. Here it is, closed and locked, but the equipment is still inside. Since last year, there have been reports from various parts of China about the successive closure of various physical fitness centers. At the beginning of this year, the closure of gyms reached a climax, evident from the boom in gym equipment recovery. How are the famous gyms back then doing now? Today, I am going to ask a friend who sells second-hand gym equipment. I asked him how much gym equipment is stored in his warehouse. He told me there's equipment from over 20 gyms over here, which really shocked me. I then asked him whether more gyms had opened or closed this year. He said that a lot of gyms opened in 2023, but even more had closed, especially in cities like Shenzhen and Guangzhou. I then asked if he actually hopes for gyms to close down more. He said there's no need. As long as a gym opens, it's bound to close eventually, and sooner or later, they all become his customers. The fitness industry used to boom in China. In 2019, propelled by the widespread enthusiasm for sports, the industry saw significant investment activity, with 38 investment deals in fitness centers, amounting to a total financing of 5.8 billion yuan, which is about 150 million yuan per investment on average. By 2021, while the number of investment deals has decreased, the total scale of financing reached a peak of 15 billion yuan, with an average investment amounting to 580 million yuan per investment. However, by the first half of 2023, there were only 4 investment deals, with the total amount representing merely a fraction of what it once was. Now, the fitness sector has become a primary domain for investment failures. There are primarily 2 forms of failure for fitness centers. One is due to heavy losses and insolvency, while the other is shut down abruptly as owners abscond with the funds, leading to a complete loss of both investors' capital and gym members' fees.
My gym has also ran away. Tonight when I went for my workout, I found a notice pasted at the door. The lights were off and there was a crowd standing outside, so I knew this store had also been shut down. I was quite upset, not because they wouldn't refund my fees, but because during a conversation with the police, a gym coach mentioned that he had invested 600,000 yuan. Some of the other coaches are also business partners with this gym. The gym owner has taken the money from investors and the coaches to open this center, but ran away with all the cash. Now these coaches have to refund the members, on top of having their own money swindled. With the end of the year approaching, they should be collecting profits. The timing of their investment is really off, and I think they must be feeling very depressed right now.
Offline gyms in China often use a prepayment system to induce members to pay fees in advance, which funnels money directly into the company's accounts. With significant sums from both users' prepayments and investors' capital at their disposal, coupled with poor management and bleak prospects, many owners choose an opportune moment to vanish, ensuring they don't suffer losses and may even turn a profit. This has led to a trend of gym closures across China. For fitness enthusiasts, the phenomenon of gyms running away has become a major concern. Once owners flee with the funds, it becomes nearly impossible for customers to recover their prepaid class fees, even with police reports and legal actions, which are already extremely challenging. Therefore, people all over the internet have compiled signs that a gym is about to shut down, so gym users can all be mentally prepared and prevent potential losses.
这个月好像是健身房跑路高峰。
This month seems to be the peak of gyms shutting down. Since January 1st, multiple gyms have closed in Wuxi, and I've seen videos of many other gyms shutting down in other cities. Let me tell you the signs of a gym about to shut down. The first, less serious sign is the non-payment of staff salaries. The gym that closed in Wuxi has had several months of salaries owed to their employees. Second, the gym frequently lacks hot water or doesn't turn on the air conditioning. Third, they suddenly drop the price of memberships and classes, basically trying to make a final cut from the customers before running away. Especially during sales events like the Double 11 and Double 12 shopping days, they also have discounts. And if you as a consumer feel that the price is ridiculously low, it's best not to be tempted by the deal. Otherwise, you'll likely be taken advantage of. Another sign is when they suddenly announce a few days off or extend the original holiday, claiming it's for renovations or upgrades. It's likely they won't reopen after such a break. But if an individual is determined to flee, there's nothing we can do. Consequently, more individuals are reluctant to spend money on gym memberships, preferring to pay only per each visit. Amidst frequent closures of offline gyms, the online fitness sector is also experiencing a downturn. Keep, China's largest fitness platform, has recently been reported to have suffered a staggering 90% drop in market value, with nearly 18.6 billion yuan evaporating into thin air. On February 13th, the Chinese financial account Kanjian Finance stated they have been closely monitoring the financial situation of the fitness app Keep. Within just 6 months, Keep's valuation plummeted by over 90%, resulting in a loss of more than 20.3 billion Hong Kong dollars, equivalent to approximately 18.6 billion yuan or 2.6 billion US dollars. Keep is a highly popular fitness app in China. It was developed by Beijing Calorie Technology Co. Ltd. Offers services such as fitness instruction, running activities, and cycling tracking. By August 2017, the app has a total of 100 million registered users. To date, the platform's user base may have reached 300 million, especially during the COVID-19 lockdown. Keep became fitness enthusiasts' primary choice for home workouts. With consumer support and the boost from the pandemic lockdown, Keep should have been highly profitable. However, internal revenue became the company's most significant challenge. According to its financial reports, Keep's losses in 2021 amounted to 2.91 billion yuan, and it only turned profitable in the first half of 2023, with about 1.2 billion yuan in profit. This indicates that prior to 2023, Keep was consistently operating at a loss, so the revenue they had in 2023 was actually insignificant compared to the losses. Despite significant operational issues, Keep quietly went public last year after a failed attempt in 2022. Keep joined Hong Kong Stock Connect on December 4th of the same year. However, its stock price began to plummet on that very day, with a single-day drop of 27.6%, marking the beginning of a continuous decline. The stock market situation since Keep's listing suggests a bleak outlook for the company, particularly as its gross margin has become a main concern for the capital market. From 2020 to 2022, Keep's overall gross margin slid from 45% to about 41%, although its financial report indicates a net profit of about 1.2 billion yuan for 2023. After adjustments under the non-IFRS measures, the net loss has reached approximately 200 million yuan. Hence, the question arises, how could Keep, with 300 million users and 30 million monthly active users, continue to incur losses? This has become a primary concern among consumers. Some public opinion suggests that, apart from poor management, excessive spending on marketing is the primary reason for Keep's losses. Despite having 300 million platform users, these users are not always loyal, so the app has to rely on heavy marketing to maintain monthly active activity. For instance, the recent Medal campaign launched by Keep aims to minimize user turnover by making them invest money. Keep's operational model itself lacks uniqueness and is often criticized for having no core product. On the Keep platform, users can purchase fitness equipment and classes, but these items aren't particularly different from other online and offline alternatives. Not to mention, online fitness classes lack the interactive experience that users desire. Consequently, despite demonstrating a large user base, Keep struggles to convert users into paying customers. As a result, the majority of Keep's revenue comes from ads. Insufficient income to cover expenses has become a significant factor contributing to the company's losses. This brings us to another issue. Despite operating at a loss, why does Keep continue to invest heavily in online marketing, creating a false sense of prosperity? Perhaps their ultimate goal is not sustainable operation, but rather to prevent further losses and to attract investors for future IPOs.
Keep 这个软件大家应该都很熟悉。
There is this fitness app called Keep, which in half a year has plummeted from 42 yuan per share to 3.4 yuan. Besides Keep, there's another app called Guo Quan, which now has a market value of 12.3 billion Hong Kong dollars. But if you look at the daily trading volume, it's only 930,000 Hong Kong dollars. You heard it right. A company valued at 20 billion has a daily turnover of just 930,000. In the A-share market, a company valued at 20 billion Hong Kong dollars normally has a turnover of over 100 million Hong Kong dollars a day. Let's look at another example. Yobi Selection was a market value of 37.2 billion Hong Kong dollars, a daily trading volume of 850 shares, and a turnover of 75,000 Hong Kong dollars. These companies share a common trait. The trading volume on the day of listing is decent. The second day it drops to about 10 million. Then it keeps decreasing to a few million and eventually slows down to a few hundreds of thousands or even tens of thousands. Why is this happening? Because in the early stages, these companies are financed with the expectation of going public by a certain deadline. And those deadlines are coming. Many investors and institutions have certain requirements for the companies, such as requiring them to achieve public listing, or else the investors can claim massive compensation. As long as the company goes public, the investment institutions can claim to have fulfilled their responsibility to the investors. For instance, if they invested at a valuation of 3 billion and now the company's market value is 30 billion, investors have made 10 times their investment. What happens to the market value after a year is a concern for later. Another scenario is when the last round of investment is made at a valuation of 20 billion and the market value ends up at 30 billion, which is a 50% profit. This profit can already be distributed within the company, and whether or not the restricted stocks will vest half a year later is a problem for the future. Once the restricted stocks of these companies vest, they're done for. But since the bet-on agreement, known as VAM, with the investors is already completed, they don't lose anything. So the reason why these companies are in a rush to go public is to settle the bet-on agreement with investors and investor institutions. Once that's done, regardless of the outcome, there are no losses. So despite knowing that the turnover and liquidity on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange are pitifully low, they still go public listing there to avoid losing money and to secure funding. Indeed, as the above commentator analyzed, this January saw the vesting of restrictions from 26 initial stockholders in Keep, who together held approximately 42,700 shares, accounting for 81.3% of the total stocks. On January 12th, an additional 2 stockholders vesting the restricted stocks was a total of 8,873 stocks, making up 16.9% of the stock capital. These 2 rounds of vesting led to the divestment by stockholders who lacked confidence in Keep, resulting in the evaporation of nearly 18.6 billion Hong Kong dollars in market value. For investors, divesting from a company that was almost entirely unprofitable post-IPO seems to have been the preferable choice. Before the crisis hit domestically, Keep had already been proven to be a failed product in international markets. Like TikTok, Keep once expanded its reach beyond China to overseas markets. 5 years ago, Apple CEO Tim Cook visited Keep's headquarters and expressed his willingness to become the first overseas user if Keep launched an international version. At that time, Keep had just surpassed 80 million users. In recognition of this milestone, founder Wang Ning presented Cook with a yoga mat bearing the number 80,000,001 as a gift. In 2018, Keep launched 2 international versions of its products, Keep Trainer and Keep Yoga. Less than a year after the release, they won the title of Best Self-Improvement App of 2018 from Google Play in several regions, and expanded to over 180 countries with more than 10 million overseas users. However, just a year later, both of the apps ceased updates. Liu Shan, a user from the US, commented, "It was quite sudden. I didn't expect Keep's international version to shut down. It's a pity because it was a pretty good app that I had been using for a long time." A Chinese student studying in Japan named Pei Qi also said she liked the Keep app mainly because much of its content was free, which helps lift the financial burden for students. But it was these free contents that kept many of these heavily used apps in a constant state of deficit, making even their international versions face similar financial challenges. It took Keep a long time to monetize its operations domestically in China. Its primary revenue streams in China include e-commerce, advertising, app memberships, and offline stores. However, despite these efforts, it still remains in a deficit. As for its international ventures, the only remaining profit avenue is subscriptions, which may exacerbate its financial losses further. A fitness brand's overseas manager, Wang Li, told the media, "It's not viable to replicate the profit model from China overseas. As we expand internationally, the overhead costs escalate. With no profits domestically, our operations abroad would naturally continue to run at a loss." In reality, Keep does have opportunities in the international market, but it's crucial to understand how to approach it effectively. Many fitness enthusiasts overseas have compared Keep with Peloton, as both are leading online fitness companies with similar revenue and customer acquisition models. However, Peloton has an earlier foundation, a more mature model, more robust capital, and greater user loyalty. In all aspects, Keep simply can't compete with Peloton. In fact, Keep's approach to entering the overseas market mirrors the path that CrossFit took many years ago. They've copied the format of fitness apps, the profit model, the operational model, and even the market entry strategy. However, attempting to capture the international market with free content does seem somewhat underhanded. The overseas market is different from China's, where users care more about the user experience and the substantive content of the app. Therefore, it's evident that Keep's attempt to rely on price competition has failed. In pursuit of higher profits, Keep has been continuously increasing the prices of its content. Many previously free offerings are now tagged with a price, causing Keep to lose its only remaining advantage in the Asian market. This change has also led to more domestic users opting to discontinue their use of Keep. Following the implementation of the price hike decision, Keep has completely lost all of its competitiveness. Someone commented and said, "I've been using Keep for over 2 years, and today the rope skipping class that was always free suddenly started charging. It's really disappointing." Someone else responded, "Exactly. Many of the courses that used to be free now require a fee. I've decided to stop using them." Another comment said that the evaporation of Keep's market value is closely related to the downturn in China's economy. Everyone feels pessimistic about Keep's future, but have you thought about what Keep represents? To all the offline fitness center owners, please don't take pleasure in others' misfortunes, thinking that if Keep is struggling, offline fitness must thrive. It's not that simple. Keep represents the trend of China's fitness market. If you believe Keep's future development doesn't look good, it suggests that there won't be much growth in China's fitness enthusiasts, and even the market for fitness and sports consumption might shrink in the future. With the entire market shrinking, do you think offline venues will attract more people? With nobody willing to spend money on online gyms, how many will turn to offline options? So it's quite alarming if you take a closer look. Some might wonder if there are exceptions, but looking at the trends of 2024, it's advisable that everyone hold onto their wallets and hope for the best. It seems that both online and offline fitness sectors in the Chinese market face uncertain prospects. This is due to the economic downturn in China, with people having low incomes and only able to spend money on essential needs. Fitness is considered more of a recreational activity. When people struggle to afford food and clothing, few are willing to spend money on fitness. Someone commented and said, there are plenty of ways to exercise for free at home. Especially when you're broke. Why even spend money on fitness?